Hi everyone, so for this video I'm going to be showing you how I created my graduation cap. So I'm going to be graduating with my BA in psychology, and I put this is what P is less than 0.05 feels like, and if you don't know, that means something is statistically significant. I actually got this idea off of a Pinterest post. The person did not leave their name, so shout out to them. So the first thing I did was I got some cardstock paper, and each of these papers were from Michaels and each one costed $1.99. I got 3 different sparkly colors because I wanted to put stripes on my cap, but I totally recommend you to buy extra just in case you mess up. So then I put my cap on top of the cardstock paper so that I could align it. And what I did was I got an Exacto knife and went around the graduation cap while the cardstock paper was at the bottom. I just don't have a clip of that, so sorry about that. But as you can see in this clip, I'm kind of struggling to cut through the paper with the Exacto knife because my Exacto knife's blade kept moving around and it wasn't piercing through the paper because I think it wasn't really a sharp blade. So I was struggling a bit with that. So I just tried my best to pierce whatever I could with the Exacto knife, and then in a few seconds you'll see me using scissors to cut around it. But I definitely recommend using an Exacto knife because with scissors you're kind of bound to cut a bit crooked. And now I'm all done, and as you can see I kept moving it around because I wasn't sure if it was in the frame of the camera. But then I just put the piece of cardstock paper on top of my grad cap to see if it was perfectly cut out. So now I'm going around the little circle button, whatever you want to call it. This is probably the hardest part, so I'm going around the Exacto knife trying to cut out the hole. And as we're going to see pretty soon, I messed up on this part, which means that I had to start all over again. So just wanted to include that in here because I feel like with a lot of tutorials, they always show everything going so smoothly, but in reality, I'm pretty sure that person messed up. So in this clip, I'm just showing you how I messed up. So as you can see, there's a big hole in the bottom left corner, which shouldn't be there. I was going to put stripes over that part, but I realized that just wasn't going to work out. So I repeated this whole process over again, but using a different color cardstock paper, and as you can see, it looks much better than the other one. For some reason, I don't have any clips with me using the hot glue gun, but I just wanted to say that once I cut out the cardstock paper, I used the hot glue gun to glue it onto my graduation cap. So the next thing I did was I got the gold cardstock paper and started to measure it because I wanted to have gold corners on my cap. So as you can see here, I'm using the gold cardstock paper, which is the one I messed up on, and I'm using it to create gold tips on my grad cap. So in this clip, I'm just measuring it using a ruler. I actually recommend flipping over the cardstock paper so it's on the white side, just so that there's no pin marks. But after this clip was filmed, I did that. But anyways, after I was done measuring the tips and cutting them out, then I got my other colored cardstock paper and I started to measure and to also cut out stripes so that I could glue onto my grad cap. So I got these rhinestones from Hobby Lobby, and each sheet was $2.50, so they were half off, and I didn't end up using one of the packages, but all I did was just cut the strips out and then hot glue them onto the rim of my cap. And then I got some stickers from Michaels, and each packet was $4.99, but I only ended up using 2 packets, so I returned the other ones. So I recommend you saving the receipts, and I'm just showing you how they're glittery and sparkly. And the next thing I ended up doing was I cut out the letters, and then I placed them on my cap to see how I should space out the letters. And I also didn't realize that this package didn't have numbers, so I had to create my own. So in this clip, I'm just taking the cutouts of the letters and trying to figure out how I want to arrange my letters. As I mentioned earlier, I didn't have any numbers, so for the 0, I just got 2 C's and I cut them in half to create a 0. And then for the 5, I got an F and a S, and I cut them and tried to arrange them as a 5. And I actually glued letters on before filming this clip, and it just wasn't working out because the glue was way too hot for the letters, because the letters are very thin, so they're kind of like shriveling up and not sticking on well. So I was gonna buy tacky glue at the store, but I totally forgot, and it just so happened that I was at CVS Pharmacy one day and I looked at their arts and crafts section, and they didn't have tacky glue, but they did have a kid's version of Gorilla Glue for arts and crafts. So I bought that and I used it to glue the letters onto my cap, and it worked pretty well. I actually took grad pictures and none of the letters fell off during that whole photo shoot, so I totally recommend using that glue. And here is the end result. Thank you guys so much for watching.